Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to play Prescription Love. It is a Yandere game with a Yandere doctor, and I first came out and I'm like, have so many games to play and like I have to. I just love playing the Yandere games. A sharp blinding light pierces through my eyelids as I slowly open my eyes. My lips feel heavy and unresponsive, as if the bed had become part of me. How long have I been on the bed? What? I squint, trying to make sense of my surroundings, but everything is a blur. The sterile smell of disinfectant biting at my nose. The rhythmic beeping of a machine fills the room like a metronome. I look around, disoriented, my vision slowly coming into focus. Yep, I'm in a hospital. I'm lying in a bed, covered in crisp white sheets. And there's something strapped to my arm. A IV line? I'll say IV, yep. Definitely. How long have I been here? What's that doing in my arm? I'm in a hospital, so I can take a guess. As I come to, there's a sharp, throbbing ache in my head that feels like it's about to split my skull from the inside. Where am I? Hospital. My thoughts were fragmented, disoriented, like pieces of a puzzle, scared in every direction. My chest tightens as the realization hits me. I can't remember anything. What happened to me? Like I was in a car accident or something? Why can't I remember anything? I close my eyes, hoping for something fragment of memory to return. Just think. Nothing. My breathing quickened, my hands clutching the sheets in fear. Like, where am I? What's happening? How can I not remember anything? Misha? Why is everything blank? Every effort to remember ends with nothing. Just a void where my memory should be. I try to sit up, but a sharp pain shoots from my head and I collapse back into the pillow. Brain damage? My heart pounded into my ears. No, not like sharp pain. Probably not, but my heart pounded in my ears, drowning out of the faint beeping of the machines. I feel my anxiety afraid to swallow me whole, when suddenly a calm, steady voice cuts through the chaos swirling in my head. Hey, it's okay. Hey, okay, it's a guy. Of course, it's the doctor. His voice was gentle, but there was a firmness to it, pulling me from the brink of panic. I switch from my head towards the source of the voice. A tall man stands beside my bed. He's tall, but there's nothing intimate about him. His hair looks a little messy. Looks like he's been here for a while. Take a deep breath. Has he been here the entire time? Do you know where you are? I shake my head slowly. Feel my tears prick at the corners of my eyes. I love the fact that you shake to shake like you're actually the one doing it. Everything felt unfamiliar, terrifying. The walls were too bright, too sterile. Hey, it's alright. You're in a hospital. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you here. Especially not with me around. The most important thing right now is that you're awake and talking. I take a deep breath, feeling the tightness in my chest start to loosen. His words were meant to comfort, and they did, in a way. But they also left me with questions. So many questions that my head felt even heavier than before. Do you remember your name? Alright, my name? What's my name again? What's your name? Digital Wave. Digital Wave. My name's Digital Wave. Fantastic. That's a very good start. I should introduce myself. I'm Dr. Ansem. I was in charge of your surgery, and you've been overseeing your care since you were brought in. Okay, my surgery. What happened? Surgery? I had surgery? What the heck happened to me? Yes, you were brought here with a traumatic brain energy. Okay, so was right on the brain with a sharp pain. You're mid with a skull fracture leading to eternal bleeding and swelling of the brain. Emergency surgery was critical to relieve the pressure on your brain. I stared at him, unable to fully process the magnitude of what he was saying. Brain surgery. I had brain surgery. My mom has had two. Put wires on there's a surgery to put wires in your brain for Parkinson's. Parkinson's, and it's also could be used to stop seizures too, or at least lessen them. It wasn't for my mom that was the seizures. It was for my co-worker's wife. And my mom was to believe in hand tremors. My thoughts twist at the thought. My stomach twists at the thought. Yeah, my thoughts twist at it too. It was a very delicate procedure, but you came through it well. Just hurt. Well then, I've been monitoring you closely. Would also explain the brain memory loss. My mom's brain is fine. I'm just the brain does hold a lot of stuff, a lot of your information, and waiting for you to wake up. You've been unconscious for a little over 2 days. The idea that I've been under his care all of this time, that he's been watching over me while I was unconscious. And the odd thing is, he's a doctor. He's been watching me the entire time. Do we have other patients and people that have to have surgery? This is fishy. It's both strange and oddly comforting. He's like, red flags. Oh, well, we're going for the red flags anyway. I know this is a lot to take in, but I promise you are in good hands. I could see it in the way he spoke, the careful way he monitored my reactions, as if he was measuring every word to avoid overwhelming me, or measuring every word to make it so I just stay with him, too. With the eternal shock of my situation beginning to settle, a pressing question raises into the forefront of my mind. Do you know what happened to me? Did someone do this to me? Yeah, I kind of want to know. For the first time, I saw a flicker of uncertainty in his expression. I'm afraid I don't have the answers yet. Answers to that, unless he did it. You were found unconscious and brought in by the paramedics. From what I can tell, the significant impact suggests a forceful blow. Me going, Did Peter do this one night? Your boyfriend. Most of the time, I normally choose the romantic route. No brute force in the head. Or possibly a fall. Unfortunately, I don't have any more details beyond that. There were no witnesses. The people who found you didn't see what happened. They found you laying unconscious on the floor and called for help. So I fallen and couldn't get up. I'm sorry, I just remember that. Ad. Help! I'm falling and I can't get up. A chill runs down your spine as these words sink in. So it wasn't a car though. No witnesses. The blank space in my memory suddenly feels much larger and darker. This must be a sick joke. I mean, so no one knows how I ended up like this. Someone's bound to know. I wish I had more information for you. Sometimes with energies like this, the memory can be slow to return. Or it may never come back at all. Or it's short-term memory and you could only remember that day type thing. There's a girl that literally just remembers. It's always technically that day in her memory. I think it's getting better, but from what's important is that we focus on your recovery. I swallow hard, I swallow hard. The knot in my throat is tightening. The idea that no one knows what happened, that even I don't know what happened. Will I ever get justice? Something deep inside me boils. Frustration, anger, fear. But then I look at Dr. Ansem. The gentle concern of kindness in his eyes, and I simply felt safe. That's a plan. He's been here since the beginning, watching over me, guiding my care. Even though he doesn't even know and doesn't have all the answers, he's still here, ready to help me. Well, that's a doctor for you. Doctors are supposed to help. I mean, supposed to. Thank you for everything. I don't know how to even begin to thank you. A slight blush rises in his cheeks, catching me off guard. He waved a hand dismissively, clearly frustrated. Oh, don't be silly. You don't owe me anything to wave. I'm just glad I could help you. Really? I don't know how to express my gratitude and how grateful I am. You're too kind. He glanced away from a moment, gathering himself before turning back to me. I'm just doing my job. Watching you recover, that's more than enough for me. Whatever happened, I'm going to do everything I can to help you through it. I take a deep breath, feeling a little steadier than before. I could feel the sincerity behind his words, his modesty, almost daring. Though he said my name, it wasn't clinical or detached. It made me feel like I was more than just a patient to him. Probably because I am. Dr. Ansem takes a deep step back, giving a reassuring nod. I think it's best if you try to get some rest now. Your body still needs time to heal. I managed to grab his attention before he turned away. Wait. Can you put the TV on for me? Can I contact my family? Just to let them know I'm okay? They haven't heard from me in days. I'm sure I must have worried them. A pain of unease hits me. Do I even know my family? Why hadn't anyone visited me? Oh well, I'm afraid it's past the hospital's curfew. I can't make any calls at this hour. You'd think you could make calls at any hour, sir. That's a red flag right there. But don't worry, I'll make sure you keep in touch with them first thing in the morning. I'm pretty sure you could call at any time. Visiting is the issue. You can't visit during after curfew, I think. The thought of waiting until morning feels like an eternity. And there are some instances where I think you could go past curfew. I don't know. Are you sure? I know it's the hospital's role, but the disappointment was heavy in my voice. I'm confused. I've been in hospitals where you can. He sighed and gently placed a hand on my head. I know it's hard. Oh yeah, I also had one instance where my mom was with me the entire time, and it was 9 o'clock when I got home. But then again, it was like 5, and apparently somehow got sequence, aka, you know those, like that powder, or sparkly powder things in my eye. I think it was during Christmas. But right now, the best thing I can do is focus on getting a good night's rest. Right now, the best thing you can do is focus on getting a good night rest. His hand resting there a moment longer before he pulled away. Your body has been through a lot, and the rest is crucial for your recovery. I promise as soon as it's morning, we'll make those calls. Your family will be the first to know. Okay. I mumbled, unsure, but too tired to argue. Just try to relax now. The severity of my situation still lingers, but there's also a sense of exhaustion settling over me. Pulling at my eyelids, making my body feel heavy. Maybe he's right. Maybe rest is exactly what I need right now. Alright, I'll go to bed now. Thank you, Dr. Ansem. His eyes twinkled softly. You're welcome. If you need anything, don't hesitate to press the call button. Rest well. We'll talk more in the morning. With that, he turns and quietly leaves the room, closing the door softly behind him. I'm left alone with my thoughts and a steady beeping of the heart monitor beside me. The room feels quiet and still, but there's a sense of safety in knowing that help is just a button press away. I close my eyes and try to focus on my breathing. Let the sounds of the hospital fade into the background. The weight of the day presses down on me slowly. I drift off. I hold on to the hope that tomorrow will bring more answers, and finally, there should be a familiar voice. My sleep was suddenly interrupted. A soft creak that echoes throughout the room. My eyes flutter open, but I'm too goggly to fully register the sound. Was that my imagination? Is he sinking in? I groan internally. I can't be bothered. I shift into my bed, wanting to go back to sleep. When my eyes close again, eager to sink back into sleep. But then I heard it again. A slow, deliberate creak, like someone was gently pushing the door. He's definitely coming back in. Still half asleep, I tried to ignore it. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe the nurses were checking in. I reasoned, forcing myself to relax. I squeezed my eyes shut and tried to focus myself back into sleep. But the sense of unease started to creep in. I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. Something didn't feel right. With a groggy sigh, I forced my eyes open again and glanced at the door. That's when I saw them. A pair of eyes. He's stalking me right this. They peered at me through the gap in the door. The eyes almost blend into the shadowy gap, but there was no mistaking them. They were watching me. I'm going to do nothing. I want to look away, to close my eyes and pretend I hadn't seen anything. But I couldn't. I was paralyzed. My gaze locked into the eyes in the door. That is actually kind of creepy. I squint, trying to focus on the narrow gap of the door. I can't make sense of what's happening. Was someone actually watching me? Am I imagining things? Now, heavy breathing. Nope. Then, in a moment of clarity, I remembered the call button beside my bed. Oh, yep, still can see it. If I took my light off, it was right there, within reach, my lifeline to help. I fumbled for it with my trembling hands, my fingers finally finding the button. Then as I pressed it, the eyes vanish. One moment, they were there, and the next they were gone, as if they never existed. I quickly sat up in my bed, staring at the door. The gap was now empty. I listened carefully, and then I heard it. The soft sound of footsteps, light and hurried, moving away from the hall. My pulse quickened, my mind reeling from what had just happened. Within a second, Dr. Ansem enters the room. I came as fast as I could. His eyes immediately swept the room, searching for something unseen threat. I could see the concern in his expression as he turned to me. Is everything alright? You pressed the call button. Did something happen? I saw eyes staring at me. And they vanished the moment I pressed the button. And they vanished in the moment, they vanished the moment I pressed the button. I watched his eyes scan the room. He walked over to the door, glanced into the hallway before turning back to me. There doesn't seem to be anyone. You know, sometimes when we're exhausted, we see things that aren't really there. I think you're lying to me. It's not unusual, especially when under a lot of stress. I shook my head. No, I'm sure what I saw. They were right there. I had heard footsteps leaving after I pressed the button. Don't worry. I'll have someone check the security cameras to see if anyone was in the hall. For now, try to get some rest. I promise nothing bad is going to happen to you. He gave me a reassuring smile before leaving, but I could see the uncertainty in his eyes. As the door closed, I lay back down. I glanced at the door, half expecting to see those eyes again. I knew I wouldn't be able to sleep now, not after what I saw. Before I knew it, morning had arrived. I must have fallen asleep somehow, despite the relentless unease from the night before. I'm still feeling exhausted. A soft glow of sunlight filtered into the room. As I blink against the brightness, I realize that Dr. Ansem. I know, brain fart until now. Isn't his Ansem? Isn't his name from Kingdom Hearts? I'm still butchering that name too. Was sitting beside me. Good morning, Digital Wave. How are you feeling? I'm okay. Even as I said it, a deep weariness tugged at me. But I didn't want to worry him. He's always seemed so concerned, so invested in my recovery. The last thing I wanted was to add to his burden. About last night, the scary couldn't find anything from last night's recording. Unless it was you. His words hung in the air. What? Those eyes. Had it really been all in my head? Just a figment of my imagination? But I do hope you managed to get some sleep. I hesitant, unsure of how to respond. Let go. Yeah, I did. The truth was heavy in the back of my mind, a weight I couldn't quite shake. Even though the memory of last night still gnawed at the edges of my mind, there was no use in overthinking it now. Trying to focus on something else, I reminded him about the call you promised last night to my family. Of course, I remember. I promise, and I always keep my promises. He reaches out his pocket and pulls out the hospital phone and handing it over to me. Over to you. Here you go. Let's get that call made. I eagerly take the phone. I dial for more numbers and press the phone to my ear. The phone rings once, then twice. It keeps ringing. It's like, I wait, holding my breath. I'm not gonna get an answer, huh? But no one answers. Just the persistent sound of ringing of the ringtone, and then, finally.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
We'll say the name. This is kind of awkward. The voicemail. Seriously? I feel a sinking feeling in my gut that the call goes to an answer machine. I lower the phone. I can't hide the disappointment on my face. I don't even try to mask it. No one answered. Dr. Ansem places a comforting hand on my shoulder, grounding me in the present. His touch was warm, comforting. I look up, his expression mirrored the sadness I felt. I'm sorry. I know how much you wanted to speak with them. Maybe they're busy, is all. Don't worry. I sighed, trying to push back the disappointment. Or I don't actually know their numbers. Yeah, you're right. I tried to sound convincing, but the emptiness lingered. Dr. Ansem gently took the phone from me, his fingers brushing against mine. I know it's not the news you were hoping for, but I have something that might cheer you up. Before I could respond, he stood up, the shift in energy catching me off guard. With that, he steps out of the room for a moment. Something for me? Whatever he had planned, I hoped it would help take my mind off everything. Even if it's just for a little while. He returns carrying a tray of delicious aroma waffling for there. Ta-da! When it's set in front of you, I have a smiley face. I look down at the plate. Eggs, bacon arranged in a smiley face. My eyes widen in surprise, a small smile tugging in my lips. I can't help but smile back at it. This is adorable. It's like my breakfast is cheering me on. Dr. Ansem chuckles, looking quite pleased with himself. Eggs and bacon are good for the soul. And fattening. But the smiley face? That's for the spirit. Dr. Ansem watches you closely as I picked up my fork. His eyes gleaming with quiet anticipation. As I lift the fork into my mouth, I notice a smooth golden sauce pouring in at the bottom of the pan, hidden beneath the food. Feeling intrigued, I scoop up a bit of it up with my next bite. The moment it hits my tongue, the flavor deepens. Rich, creamy hollandaise sauce with a hint of tang that perfectly balances the savory bacon and eggs. The sauce elevates the meal in a way I haven't expected. This is amazing. I've never had that sauce. I almost had to disbelieve at how delicious the simple meal is. I take it the smiley face is working its magic. Definitely. But the taste, that's what's really bringing me over. The hollandaise sauce adds the smooth, almost buttery richness. There's a big grin on Dr. Ansem's face. Take me away, doctor. You get me food. He clearly pleased with my reaction. No, I don't eat lunch, so I thought the sauce might be a nice surprise. Adds a bit of something extra to bring it all together. You aren't kidding. I take another bite, savoring the way the creamy sauce cuts through the richness of the bacon. You should serve this at a restaurant. I've never had breakfast like this in a hospital before. Well, just wanted to make sure your first meal felt special. I paused, looking down at the plate again, then back at him. Wait, did you make this? Mm-hmm. He nods, looking a little embarrassed. Doctor's like over there feeding me too. It's like, hey, sir, don't you have other patients? A small blush creeps onto his cheeks as he looks down at the floor for a moment before meeting your eyes. Yes, I did. I knew the hospital food isn't exactly known for being, well, gourmet. I mean, it depends on the hospital. I didn't want your first meal to just be survival food. I smell as his clear embarrassment, noticing the way he fidgets slightly. I mean, technically survival food. I'll be fine with survival food. Like he's not used to that kind of attention. Well, you really outdid yourself. Thank you, Dr. Ansem. I really appreciate how much you do to make me feel comfortable, despite everything. It's like you always known how to make things better. Like you're stalking me. I watched him flush at the compliment. This time, he seems more bashfully proud, a mix of shyness and happiness sparkling in his eyes. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. Always make sure you're comfortable as possible while you're here. Hearing that it's helping, that makes it. That's it. Hearing that it's helping, that it makes a difference. It means a lot to me. So really, thank you for saying that. His genuine happiness really shone through. It was clear that my compliment had brightened his day in a way that went beyond mere politeness. He's like, I'm happy. This dairy mom. As I about to finish the last bite of breakfast, my eyes drift to the cup of coffee, sitting quietly on the tray. I hadn't noticed it the whole time, but I enjoyed my breakfast, black, steaming, and inviting. I reached for the cup, taking an intensive sip. Put some cream in there? I instantly paused. Did you put some cream in there? Oh, it was black coffee. I need cream. I instantly paused. It's rich, smooth, but just the right hit of bitterness. It's not just good. It tastes exactly like the coffee I make. Huh. Not close. Not similar. Exactly. Like, if it's exactly like mine, it's gonna be coffee, flavored, whatever, creamer, and then this foam thing inside too. I will say, one of my managers really says I make the best coffee. Because every single time I see her, I make her a cup of coffee. And normally work in different times. I work in the morning, she works at night. And normally, if I ever see her, I make her coffee. Not close, not similar, exactly. Wait, this tastes exactly like the coffee I make every morning. How is this even possible? I know. His voice barely above a whisper. So quiet that I almost wonder if I imagined it. His eyes, he's standing there, his usual calm demeanor in place. There's something different in the way he watches me. What was that? What was that? The words slipping out before I could stop them. He just smiles, a warm, casual smile. Like nothing is out of the ordinary. Oh, really? I narrow my eyes, still processing the shock. No one ever gets it right the first time. It's not the exact strength or balance of flavors. I take another slow sip, almost searching for a flaw. But there isn't one. This is spot on. Maybe I'm just good at reading people. His tone is light, like he's just making conversation. But his words send a shiver down my spine. He's been stalking me. His eyes too. Though I can't quite pinpoint why. Either that, or you just got some kind of sixth sense. It's kind of uncanny. I shake my head, trying to clear my thoughts. Am I overthinking this? I mean, it's just coffee. I don't drink that much coffee, so there's no need to make a big deal of it. He made me breakfast, not to mention been nothing but kind to me. Why am I doubting him? It's just a harmless coincidence. It has to be. He chuckles, the sound light and breezy. Just call it a lucky guess. Oh, I'm gonna call it that you're Yandere. You just strike me as someone who enjoys strong coffee. I do medium coffees are. But I'm glad I could make something right for you. It'd have to have a lot of creamer and I would rather have tea. His words are genuine. No, I will literally say G feel or anything that's G feel is a little bit better for me. Hydration version. I suddenly feel guilty for letting my mind wander like that. He's been considerate. Maybe I'm reading too much into things. I take a sip of coffee, feeling the warmth spread through me. There's no way he meant anything strange by it. I think to myself, relaxing a bit. He's just trying to make my stay a little more bearable, going above and beyond because he cares. Maybe a little too much. I shouldn't doubt him. He's done nothing but to try to help. As I set the cup down, I glance back at Dr. Ansem, Ansem. Okay, there, I forgot. Ansem, who's watching with the exact same smile. The warmth of the coffee lingering my tongue, and the unsullied thoughts fading into the background. Thank you, Dr. Ansem. It does make a difference. You're very welcome, Digital Wave. As he glances at his watch, his expression shifts over so slightly. You should probably get some rest now. He says as though he reminded me of something important. He had a long morning, and it's important you don't overexert yourself. I'm fine. Dr. Ansem smiles, but there's a firmness in his gaze that makes it clear that he's not going to entertain any arguments. He kind of just gave me coffee, and it takes 6 hours, apparently, to get the coffee out of the system. I know you're strong, but you still need time to heal. Pushing yourself won't help. He stops closer, his hand lightly brushing the edge of the blanket and adjusts it over my legs. There's a tenderness in his gesture, something careful and deliberate. You need to take it easy. An unexpected wave of fatigue hits me, leaving me more tired than I anticipated, unless he put something in the coffee and the eggs. Well, am I experiencing the effects of food coma? I sighed, feeling a pull of drowsiness become harder to resist. As if sensing my thoughts, he offers me a reassuring smile. I'll be back to check on you later. Alright. And with that, he quietly leaves the room, closing the door gently behind him. I'm probably having a food coma. Dr. Ansem did say I need a lot of rest. I close my eyes and nuzzle my face against the pillows. Time slips by and I fall awake from my peaceful nap. I rub my eyes, trying to shake off the drowsiness. Something catches my attention. The door to my room is slightly ajar. Why is the room left open like that? Was it? No, I'm sure Dr. Ansem closed the door before he left. Was someone watching me sleep? The sight of the partially opened door leaves me feeling it on edge. I feel vulnerable, exposed. I sit up, my heart thumping in my chest, trying to rationalize the situation. Maybe it's nothing but... We're gonna see the eyes again. Suddenly the door creaks open wider. A figure steps into the room. It's Dr. Ansem. Knock knock. Smiling warmly, holding a clipboard in one hand and a small tray of medication in the other. I'm here for your checkup and medication. You notice the fear etched in my face. You look terrified. What's wrong? With my heart still racing, I explained quickly. I was taking a nap, and when I woke up, the door to my room was slightly open. You remind me about what I saw last night. His face changed slightly to one of guilt. You... His gaze drops to the floor. Oh, I'm so sorry, Digital Wave. I came in here earlier to clear away the tray and utensils from your breakfast. I saw you were sleeping, so I tried to leave quietly to not disturb your sleep. I must have not shut the door tightly. I'm really sorry. That must have been so frightening for you. I glanced over to realize he's right. The breakfast tray is gone. I hadn't even noticed my internal panic. A sense of embarrassment creeps in as I realize I have been overacting. Have I? No, I'm sorry, Dr. Ansem. I think last night left me feeling a little paranoid is all. He shakes his head. No need to apologize. It's completely understandable to feel uneasy. I should have been more careful. Your comfort and peace of mind are very important. I'm sorry for disturbing that. Thank you, Dr. Ansem. I guess I just need some time to adjust. Of course. He moves in closer to check my vitals. Let's get you checkup done, shall we? I promise I'll make sure to close the door properly this time. He places the tray of medication on the table next to me. My eyes fall on the pills. So many pills. What are these for? He whisks the small plastic cup and takes it lightly, making the pills inside rather softly. Oh, they're painkillers and antibiotics. Given your energy, it's expected that you will still experience headaches and occasional bouts of pain. The painkillers will help you recover comfortably while you're here. He pauses for a moment before adding. Lean back slightly as if considering the best way to explain. Now these... He holds a large white and red pill between his fingers. Are a bit stronger. Are they gonna make me just compliant to you? They're narcotic analytic. It's a potent painkiller used for intense pain. So don't be alarmed if you find something in yourself feeling more sleepy than usual. He points at the antibiotic, assuring that you're following along, then continues. Yeah, but shouldn't you keep the antibiotic? Okay, since you had to perform a surgery on her, there's a risk of infection. Yeah, but at the same time, antibiotics are for when you actually have it. If you do not have an infection, it could cause bacteria to become resistant to it, so it's best not to. And you wouldn't want that happening to you. I mean, did you sterilize this equipment? These will help minimize the risk, ensuring that your recovery stays on track. I see. I feel more at ease with the expiration. Thank you for taking your time to explain it to me. Of course. It's important for you to understand your treatment. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask. I revoiced my concern. Your recovery is my top priority. Speaking of recovery, a question sits heavily on my chest. How long do you think I'll take to make a full recovery? He lets out a gentle sigh before responding. Well, honestly, it's hard for me to say for sure. And also, I can't afford the doctor's appointment, the hospital. We can't push or predict exactly how long it'll take. Should I, after a couple days in the hospital, go back home though? Some people don't heal faster than others. And when it comes to brain, patience is key. It could take weeks or even months. Yeah, but normally it's at your house. And my mom only had like one stayed over one night. So it was kind of a minor type brain surgery. Seeing the concern on my face, he quickly adds with a soft smile. I know it's not easy to hear. With energies, especially ones like yours, we have to be patient. I need to ensure that you get back to your daily life safely when you're ready to leave. I notice a hint of sadness in his eyes when he mentions the possibility of me leaving. It's a fleeting expression, but I caught it. Then, just as quickly he brushes off, his professional demeanor returning, offering the same reassuring smile, although it seemed a bit forced this time. As always, your recovery is what's most important right now, no matter how long it takes. I can't shake the feeling that there's something behind his words. Still, I decide not to press further. Dr. Ansem quickly changes the subject. Let's get you settled in with some dinner, shall we? He steps over to a small cart, lifting a bowl with a lid. He sets it down in front of me and lifts the cover to reveal a bowl of plain porridge. Compared to the delicious breakfast he made earlier, the porridge looks a bit plain. But I can't help feel a twinge of disappointment. He chuckles at your reaction. I'm sorry. It's not quite the same as breakfast, is it? I can't always be spoiling you. Porridge is good for you. It's gentle on the stomach and easy to digest. You should give me the porridge first. Understand the feeling for a real simple meal, even though it's not as appetizing. He gives you an encouraging smile as I pick up the spoon. Who knows, maybe I'll surprise you with another special breakfast soon. I can't help but smile back. Like a goldfish. I'll hold you to that. The taste may be bland, but the warmth and cares behind it is make it a comforting meal. After finishing the porridge, I start to feel the heaviness of drowsiness sleeping in. He's pulling something there. Must be the medication taking in. I struggle to keep my eyelids open. Dr. Ansem, always observant, knows my struggle to stay awake. Let me take this away so you can get a good night's rest. He moves quietly, carefully gathering up the dish and tray. Okay, but you'll be back in the morning, right? Why, of course. I'll be here in the morning to check on you. Sweet dreams, digital wife. Weird I don't say nurse. Alright, good night, yawn. Just go to sleep. As the room dims, I hear him softly shutting the door behind him. A simple reassurance that the room is secure and safe. The door closed, I finally allow myself to fall asleep. The world around me fades. When my eyes open again, I'm not in my room. I'm standing in a narrow alleyway. The air is thick, hazy, making it hard to see much of anything. I start walking, my footsteps barely making a sound in the eerily quiet. Something about this place seems familiar. Almost like I've been here before. This is what happened? Am I remembering? But I can't quite put my finger on it. The more I move, the more the sensation galls at me, tugging at something deep in my mind. Then it clicks. I'm dreaming. The realization brings a strange comfort, but also a deeper confusion. Why does this place seem familiar? I keep walking, looking for exit, but the alley stretches endless before me. No doors, no windows. No one in sight. Suddenly, I hear extra footsteps echoing behind me. I'm not alone. My heart skips a beat. Just as I'm about to turn around, he's gonna be there. My eyes open, and snap open. I'm wide awake. There he is. I'm immediately greeted by the sight of Dr. Ansem's face inches away from mine. We both yelp at the same time, startled. He jumps back so fast he nearly knocks over the tray beside my bed. His eyes are wide with shock, and he looks as frustrated as I feel. My face still burnt and pounding in my chest, just from the dream. But from having him this close to my face, I open my mouth, but no words come out. I'm feeling shyer under his gaze. My words feel heavy and misplaced, as if they'd only make this moment more awkward. There was nothing to make this moment more awkward. What were you doing? Being like a cat staring at me? Sorry. He stammers quickly, standing upright. I didn't mean to scare you. I watch his hands fidget nervously. I just wanted to check your vitals, and you look so peaceful. And yeah, sir. Bad bedside manner. It's okay. I mumble, cheeks warm. Suddenly, I'm unable to look directly at him. The room feels suddenly too small. There's a silence before he quickly recovers. So how was your sleep? It was weird, actually. I had a dream about an alleyway. He's like, crap, I'm remembering. Something flickers across his face. A slight shift of expression, like he saw him paying extra attention. An alleyway? What happened? I think you know. I shudder, still feeling a bit off from the dream. I was just walking, and then I heard footsteps behind me. Like someone was following me. You? But I woke up before I could turn around. He listens carefully, his eyes focus on me like he's considering something. There's a moment where I think he might ask more, but he doesn't. He's contemplating what I think we're remembering. That's what's happening. He gives a small chuckle. Does sound like a strange dream. I'm remembering stuff now. That's what happens. Your brain actually remembers. It's processing information. But dreams are usually made up from random thoughts and feelings, all mixed together. And it's actually memories in its processing memories. I wouldn't feel too much. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I released a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Dr. Ansem. Of course. He gestures to a small tray on the bedside table. Anyway, I brought you breakfast. I hope you're hungry. I look over, notice a bowl of salmon and rice. Oh, now he's pointing me again. Though some of it has spilled onto the tray. His eyes widen in horror as he noticed the mess. Oh no! I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. I'll bring you a fresh one. It won't take long. Before he can leave, I reached out. My hand gently stopped him. No, it's fine, really. I want to eat it. It looks delicious. I pick up the spoon and take a bite. The buttery taste of salmon immediately fills my mouth, and I smile at him. See, it's perfect. I say my words muffling slightly by the food. His face soft, his guilt fading from his face. He watches me for a moment. There's something tender in his gaze that makes my chest warm. I'm glad you enjoy eating it. Even if it's not exactly how I planned. I think you're planning a lot of stuff. After savoring the final spoonful of breakfast, I wipe my mouth and glanced at Dr. Ansem, who's busy tidying up the tray. Dr. Ansem? Can I call my family again? Of course. Let me get you the phone. He leaves the room briefly and returns with a phone in hand. I dial the number carefully, each press deliberate. I even double-check numbers to make sure they're right. Bring the phone to my ear. I wait for the phone to ring, but again, there's no answer. I frown. This is the second time they haven't picked up. Something doesn't feel right. Did he go stabby my family? I take a closer look at the phone and realize there's no signal. He's like, giving me a fake phone. Confused, I ask him, why isn't there any service? Dr. Ansem pauses for a beat before offering a quick response. Dr. Ansem pauses for a beat before offering a quick response. It's probably just a connection issue. The signal's always a bit tricky in this building. Okay. Sorry, I still had to read it. I can't help but feel the desperation felt strangely rushed. Yeah, it kind of did because, how fast was he talking? Was he talking like one of those, people that, people that sell people that, bid people? I can't help but feel the expiration felt strangely rushed. The room also feels too quiet, like the silence is pressing down on me. I sneak back to the bed, exhaling softly. By suddenly overwhelmed by the sense of sleepiness. Wait, did I take my medication? The thought floats lazily in my mind. We did eat. He's putting in the food. I knew that from the first time. Feeling distant and hard to grasp. I try to focus on Dr. Ansem, but his figure starts to blur. My vision slowly fading at the edges, and the room seems to spin. Before I could form a coherent question, I feel the warmth of his hand on his as he gently pulls a blanket over me, tucking me with gentle care, but it feels distant. I want to speak, but my body feels heavy, and my thoughts scatter. I'm pulled into a deep sleep before I realize it's happening. I grasp awake, and my breath catching as I sit up. I blink, trying to gather my bearings. My head foggy, but still, like it's still kind of a dream. I slept slowly, the weight of fatigue still pressing down on me like a heavy blanket. Yep, he's putting in my food. How long was I asleep? Good evening, Digital Wave. I woke up startled. It's Dr. Ansem. I rub my eyes, trying to shake off my grogginess. Evening? My voice is scratchy, trying to shake the fog from my mind. How long was I asleep for? Only a few hours. That's probably longer than a few hours. You needed the rest. How are you feeling? I pause, trying to assess myself. Groggy? Really groggy. I meant the words slowly. I meant the words slow to form. Why do I feel so tired? I tried to voice a little sharper than I intended. I mean, after breakfast, I was exhausted. He doesn't flinch or seem surprised by my question. Instead, he pulls up a chair and sits beside me. It's because he's putting stuff in my food. The same steady patience and expression that he always has. Fatigue is one of the most challenging symptoms after brain energy. The brain has to work much harder to compensate for the damage, even for the smallest task. It can drain your energy faster than you realize. His expression is calm, so assuring that I find myself nodding almost automatically. I mean, it does make sense. No, totally, he's putting in the food. Of course, it makes sense. But why do I still feel unsettled? It's not unusual to feel exhausted out of nowhere in your circumstances. Your brain is basically working overtime as you recover. It's important to listen to it, to give yourself the rest you need when you need it. I nod, but something inside me is stirring. Something uneasy. My guilt tells me there is more. Something he's not saying, like he's putting stuff in my food. But his eyes, warm and kind, don't falter. He pauses briefly, giving a small cup of pills in his hand a gentle shake. Here we go. It's time for your medication. I just go for the red flags. It's not the medication. I take it from him. The pills rolling slightly in the plastic as I tilt the cup to my hand. These will help. You've been pushing yourself. Your body needs the support. I nod, lifting the cup to my lips. The pills go down easy with a sip of water. The taste familiar, leaving a slight bitterness in my tongue, like always. I feel a bit more at ease as the fog in my mind starts to clear, if only slightly. Good. Don't worry. I will take care of you. You start to feel better soon. There's something always so assuring about him. He's quite patient. The way he never seems frustrated, even when I ask the same question over and over. It's like he understands without needing me to explain. Thank you, I say softly, sinking back into my bed, the sheets cool against my skin. My eyes are still heavy, but I'm less tense now, more at ease. His presence always seemed to have the effect on me. That affected me. As Dr. Ansem stays seated beside me for a moment longer. Then he stands slowly, as if not wanting to disturb the calm that settled over the room. If you need anything, just press the call button. I'll always be here for you. As the door closes softly behind him, the room feels quieter, but in a peaceful way. Like all the tension has been drained away. I pull the blankets up around me, feeling safe, cared for, and finally ready to rest. Dr. Ansem's words linger in my mind as I close my eyes. I'll always be here for you. With that thought, I let go of the last of my worries and let sleep take over. Trusting that when I wake up, I'll be in good hands. And that is Prescription to Love. If you like my content, please subscribe, help out, and comment below. I'll see you guys next time. This is still a demo. There will be more to the game, and I will put the link to the game in the description.